on time for New Vision TV News. I am Ruth Naseje. HIV/AIDS first attacked Uganda about a year before Professor Lucy Montanye identified it in 1983. It has drastically changed Uganda's lifestyle, but New Vision TV takes you to the days when Ugandans enjoyed life unlimited.
Even after the establishment of Christianity in 1877, many Ugandans continued to practice polygamy openly after becoming members of their churches, and some communities in Western Uganda even shared freely. Some pastoralists would simply place their walking stick at the door and enter the brother's house to assume conjugal rights with the wife. The brother, on finding the familiar stick at his door, simply walked ahead, in the knowledge that it is his brother inside with his wife. A community in central Uganda openly discouraged adultery, but in private, both wives and husbands were encouraged to get at least one child with a different partner just to have some genetic diversification in case the official partner had dominant undesirable traits. In a community in the near eastern Uganda, a common saying still popularly used says that your brother's wife is also your wife. In the same community, girls used to start undergoing sexual training at around the age of 10. Further to the east, in another community, young men who undergo the rite of passage through circumcision were told to go conquer all women, sparing only their sisters and mothers. Further to the northeast, the wooing of girls for marriage was through what the rest of the world would describe as rape, and the rapist would be congratulated on successfully chasing his victim and overpowering her. At independence in 1962, the festive mood did not end with the ceremonies, but kept growing as more Ugandans entered the new category of civil servants who started taking up the so-called European lifestyle. The few graduates leaving university lived a lavish life of clubs and playing golf. The lower cadres frequented nightclubs like there was no tomorrow. Clubbing was the main thing, and the local music industry boomed. The urban poor also had their blasts with bars and jukeboxes. The sex trade was openly practiced in confined areas, especially Kisenyi slum. Ugandan sex workers would go as far as Mombasa to tap the sailors' wallets. The health services were excellent, and people who contracted sexually transmitted diseases were quickly treated free of charge in public hospitals. In 1971, the military took over and the maverick Idi Amin became president. The new military leader was more than liberal. He had 3 official wives, Mama Mariam, Nora, and Kay. He then added a 4th one, a dancer called Madina. Then he divorced the first 3 and remained with only Madina. But Amin's monogamy was short-lived, for he soon spotted yet a younger one called Sarah Cholaba, and he quickly wed her also. Then the Organization of African Unity Summit came to Kampala in 1975, and he needed to set a record of wedding with 50 heads of states in attendance, so he wed Sarah a second time. And on the party mood continued. For some reason, Amin wanted people to get their sexually transmitted infections treated quickly and without stigma. So he issued a directive that no man should fear to state it when he got infected, but should proudly declare before the health personnel that he had got good hope. The ambiguous term was for a while used to mean STD. At the fall of Idi Amin in 1979, Tanzania's army occupied the whole of Uganda for the next few years. They were treated like heroes, and the local women enjoyed life with them freely. When President Godfrey Binaisa went to the OAU summit, Nigeria's Olusegun Obasanjo attacked Tanzania for occupying Uganda. However, Binaisa silenced him, saying that unlike Nigerian peacekeepers who raped women in Chad, in Uganda, it is the girls who aggress the Tanzanian soldiers with love. The parting with the Tanzanians continued through the early 80s. Unknown to the people, the new disease of human immunodeficiency syndrome was entering their bodies unhindered. It first baffled the residents of Rakai near the Tanzanian border. And to make matters worse, a civil war was raging as the government was battling revolutionary rebels in the Rheumatic bush. By the time peace and order was restored in 1986, the infection was already widespread. This marked the end of the good days and the life of worry and caution started. For the past 32 years, Uganda has been battling HIV with massive public education, prevention of mother-to-child transmission, and treatment of the afflicted. The battle is far from over, but the struggle continues, winning the battle together.
Four people have been identified in a motor accident at Bulanga along Mitiana Road when a vehicle they were traveling in got involved in a head-on collision. According to eyewitnesses, a Prado registration number UAZ685P rammed into a newer UAX 270C. The driver of the Prado fled the scene of the accident, but documents obtained from it indicate that it belongs to Gonza Kaita, a rally an employee of the National Forestry Authority. It is not yet established who was driving the Prado at the time of the accident. The newer vehicle driver, Apollo Galuango, said he had taken pupils to school. Moving on, Dr. Joyce Kadusi Moriki, the Minister of State for Primary Health Care, has asked mothers and children to do heart checkups so as to guard against rheumatic heart disease. She was addressing participants during the Rheumatic Heart Disease Stakeholders Conference held in Kampala recently. Rheumatic heart disease is a condition in which permanent damage to the heart valves is caused by rheumatic fever. The heart valve is damaged by a condition that begins with a strep throat caused by bacteria called Streptococcus and may eventually cause rheumatic fever. The fever can then lead to rheumatic heart disease. If not treated well, the disease is fatal. Women suffering from it often show signs during pregnancy, as this is the most stressful time of the heart. Research shows that annually over 300 people die of this disease. And in our sports news, Entebbe Club's Balham Matovu won the 36-hole one-day competition with a net score of 145. The 22-year-old handicap 8 golfer sank 3 birdies en route to winning his second Cadiz competition in a space of 2 months. He had earlier also won the Entebbe Cadiz competition. UGC's Joelia Namanda was the best in the ladies category with 67 net. Uganda Golf Club member and golf enthusiast John Kato advised caddies working at the various golf clubs in the country to raise their game. Kato was speaking during a prize ceremony following their one-day Castlelight Caddies tournament played at Chitintale. The ceremony was held in Ajanankumbi, Kampala. You're still watching New Vision TV, and in our daily Pearl of Africa series, we tell you why you should go to the Murchison Falls. Now, Murchison Falls is also referred to as Kabalega Falls, named after the King of Bunyoro, where these falls are located. The falls are along the stretch of River Nile between Lake Choga and Lake Albert. These falls are located within the Murchison Falls National Park, which derives its name from these eye-catching falls. Every year, hundreds of people travel long distances from within Uganda and abroad and head to the national park. Do you know why this park is specifically popular for both local and foreign tourists? Check this out. It is a whole new experience to travel in the land of the wild, but I guarantee you this is the most amazing experience. Thoughts of exactly how the wild animals you see in the pictures look like intrigues your emotions. And yes, these game drives become your guide through the park. Before you realize it, animals of different species start cursing and running through the park. This kind of adventure is why you should gather your family for a vacation in the wild. As you come across the tallest animals on land, which are the giraffes, the biggest ones on land also surface, and these are the elephants. The birds of various species can also be found here. In the water, and this is a lake, hippos have made it their home. They drink, stay, and mate in the water.
Oh no, it's fully.
As the adventure gets more interesting, here comes the falls, the Murchison Falls. These falls are like no other. The water bubbles up like there is a charcoal stove on fire at the bottom. I'm so sure that this excitement cannot be told but felt by each one of you. Then tell me why you can't join the thousands of tourists who visit the Murchison Falls in National Park every year. However, for more Pearl of Africa stories, visit our website www.newvision.co.ug. Our newspaper, The Sunday Vision, is also another home of adventures, so get your copy every Sunday for Pearl of Africa stories. And that's all we had for you. Thank you for watching. Be sure to catch movie news updates on your mobile phone, on your desktop, on your tablet, and anywhere on the go by visiting our website www.newvision.co.ug. I am Ruth Naseje.